Welcome to A Woman's Brew, where women talk about beer. This is part 2 of our massive Tryanuary episode where we had so many beers we wanted to try that we've had to break it into 2 parts for you. I'm Joanne and this is Tori.
Hello.
And we are 2 beer-loving women on a mission to get more people drinking and talking about great beer. Come join us. Right, so this is Pie Hard from Fallen Acorn. This is one of your Tryanuary choices, isn't it?
Yes. Thank you, Tim. I'm so excited. I've got my Impy Pie Hard to do. I've been doing Tryanuaries throughout the month of January, or just recording them in little snippets, and I really couldn't wait anymore to have this one. So I'm excited. Everyone's trying it. Everyone says it sounds good, or they taste good.
Couldn't wait any longer.
Let's go. Oh, it's alive.
Oh,
it's alive.
It's a little bit lively, yeah.
I've been excited to try Fallen Acorn for a while.
So I've tried Fallen Acorn.
I haven't. And I was just like, when this came out, I was like, this is for me. Need it.
So I had them at a cheese festival. Yeah, they were at a cheese festival, and
that's not Veganuary.
Right. Well, it was a couple of years ago now. It was a cheese festival in Maidstone in Kent, and they had a variety of their beers on. And I went over and I was like, "Oh, like, are you from Kent? Are you local?" And they were like, "No, we're not. We just got asked by this cheese festival to come along, so here we are." And I had some of their beers there, and they were quite nice.
So I don't know if we've cut this out of the video already at the start, but I said I've got my Mean Girls on Tuesday. We drink Teepa's glass, and this is not a Teepa, but I'm very excited. I like my glass, and I've been excited to try this, so I'd have it in my exciting glass, my custom glass. It smells appley.
It does smell appley.
It smells really appley.
It's kind of a murky, yellowy orange, but when I say murky in like a good way, like apple juicy.
I was going to say, if you're from the US, it's like an apple cider. It's like apple cider, but I would say maybe slightly lighter colour. It's like cloudy apple juice, but I'd say it's a bit cloudier than cloudy apple juice. And if you can apple cider, it's a bit lighter than apple cider. And
it's got a nice fluffy white head on it.
Yes, very fluffy looking. It looks very soft.
I'm getting apple.
I'm getting lots of apple.
Getting a bit of spice.
I just get lots and lots of apple. That's all that seems to come through to me is the apple, which is exciting because I do find with certain beers, when it mentions apple, the apple gets really lost in it.
Yeah.
Right, you ready? Cheers.
I'm getting a bit of funk as well. Ooh.
It's a thick mouthfeel. It's sour.
It is sour.
And it's apple.
Normally, so when somebody says it's sour apple. I'm like, yeah, all right, it's tart. No, this is actually sour.
No, it's sour.
I'm getting that apple.
I'm definitely getting sour apple.
I'm getting lactic as well, in a good way. What's in it? So it's got malty barley. I get a bit of a crust, like a pie crust at the end, bit of pastry at the end.
Yeah.
So it's got malted barley, malted wheat, malted oats, which is giving it that lovely mouthfeel. Lactose as well in it. And it says on the can, "Come out to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs." Well, that's what we did, but no one fell out of any tall buildings. A fresh pastry sour base conditioned on apple, vanilla and cinnamon. Pie Hard is everything good about apple pie and custard wrapped up into a beer. Yippee pie yay, mother chugger.
Mother chugger.
Mother chugger.
I really like yippee pie yay, mother chugger.
I don't think I'm getting any vanilla.
I'm not really getting cream.
No.
getting the custard, not cream, but the custard into it. Just sour apple, which I'm not unhappy about.
No, I'm not unhappy about it. It's quite nice.
The ABV, I don't feel like the ABV is particularly. It's only 6.2%, but I think it almost tastes a bit more.
I think it tastes
a higher ABV than
a lot more alcoholic than it actually is. I think.
Yeah, which was interesting because when I looked and I saw it was only 6.2%, I was like, normally I drink 6.2% and I don't even think about it.
Yeah.
But it does taste a higher ABV, which makes me think of like, oh, when I have the impy version of it.
Good luck with that.
How is that going to work? how alcoholic is that going to be? And it's a 750ml bottle as well. And it has a little sample on top, which is very cute. So added effect as a sample. Like it. I think I do wish that there was more of that. I wish I was getting more of the custard. I know other people got more of the custard, so I'm wondering if it's just my ability to pick it up, whereas other people.
I'm not getting custard though.
I saw other people's feedback and they said they got it. So I don't know if it's just maybe our taste buds aren't recognizing it, or maybe it needs to be. We've just taken it out of the fridge.
It needs to be warmer.
I don't know. I definitely get the pie crust to it, and I 100% apple in your face, and definitely sour. It's not like you said. It's not when someone goes, "Oh, it's a sour," and you're like,
this is a.
That's cute.
This is a true sour. It makes you go, "Oop."
I think the first sip we went, it's because I think it took me by surprise because it's pastry sour. I think
you expect it to be a little bit sweeter.
It's going to be really sweet, and it's not as sweet as I thought it was going to be based on the fact it said pastry on it. So
none of those things are bad things.
No, again, none of these things are bad things at all. It's just there's there was the slight difference in what I thought it was going to be to what it is, which is totally fine. It's good. And I just wish it had that little bit extra depth coming through to me. But again, we'll see how it is when it warms up. But I don't obviously won't be on camera at that point, I don't think.
Yeah.
But, I like this approach you've taken. I'm going to try it.
This is it. So for those who are watching, so I've got a stem. We've both got stemmed glasses, and I'm currently cupping it in my hands right around the bowl to warm it up. That's what I like about a stemmed. That's what I like about a stemmed glass, right? So when you don't want to get your hand heat on your beer, you can hold it by the stem. But when they are this lovely bold shape, like the glasses that we've got, you can cup them nicely in your hand to warm up the beer inside to get the full effect of the flavors and the aromas. Top beer tasting tip, that, yo.
I believe you covered some of that as well in your glasses video, your beer tasting.
We did. Episode 2.
I remember watching it.
Yeah.
Your mini-sode without me. If you are so sick of watching me and you thought it was interesting, go watch Joe's video on the glassware, because that's what I learned when I watched the video the first time. It was great.
Yeah. Episode 2.
But I never thought to do this. I saw you do it and I was like, that's a really good idea. I'm going to copy it.
Yep.
So,
I'm still not really getting any custard.
No, I'm not either.
But that's okay. I'm okay with it.
But the sour seems to have turned down a little bit, I think.
But I think that's when you take more sips. When you first do it, it's like, oh, it's a bit of a shock
in your face.
Like, I think with sours, you need to have like 3 sips to get into them, and then you can settle with what they actually are.
Your mouth needs to adjust.
Yeah.
Your mouth needs to adjust so it's less of a shock, and then you're like, oh, okay. Again, wish there was a bit more custard and vanilla. But I'm definitely getting apple full on, on apple, full on sour. It's not as sweet as we thought it was going to be. There's the cinnamon. I wish there was a little bit more cinnamon.
Yeah, I'm not really getting. I'm not getting a huge amount of cinnamon. No.
It's just that added. I can smell it more than I can taste.
Yeah.
It. But that's the thing with cinnamon, isn't it? Though every time we have a beer with cinnamon, you smell it a lot, and then when you go to taste it, the taste isn't fully there. And I'm wondering if it's because watching that video of the guys doing their home brew when they went to Elusive and they tried the coffee porter, and they added a lot of cinnamon. They were worried that the cinnamon they put too much in because they like doubled the recipe or something like that. And I think a lot of people get really worried that they're going to over cinnamon something and people are going to hate it. Because it smells so strong, they're like, oh, that might be too much, more cinnamon. And it's probably perfect. That's for me.
Yeah. I think
that's what I want.
I think when you're adding something like that and you're not sure, I think you need to smell it and taste it to work out the proper balance.
But yeah, overall, I enjoy it. And it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one because I don't think I've had many apple sours or many apple beers that have had the apple come through in quite a strong way. So, I mean, they've done well to pull off the apple taste. So well.
Yeah, it's nice.
Pleased it.
Wander Beyond. So this is Split, which is a banana split Imperial Black Ice Cream IPA. That's exciting. This is your pick, isn't it?
I like my ice cream beers. Yeah, so this was my pick for Wander Beyond. And actually what's really funny is this happened to be, I think, one of the better options of what I was going on. I didn't realize it was a ice cream at all or a black IPA. I just kind of went, yeah, okay, that one, I'll go with that one. That's fine. I think I chose it because it was one of the cheaper ones as well. I was like, I'll go with that one. It would just be easier. And it ended up being a banana split and a black IPA, which both decent.
Right, so I like a black IPA. I like an ice cream beer. I'm not a massive fan of banana. Oh, it doesn't smell overly banana-y.
No, I think it smells ice creamy in the can anyways. I've got a decent beige head on mine.
Mine's rubbish. My glass. These glasses. I'm going to get different tasting glasses because I'm not happy with these.
Every time you go, oh, there you go.
I need more Mozilla. I like these. I need more of this.
Yeah, they're nice, aren't they?
For those that aren't watching the video, I'm using my round Belgian tasting glasses, but they don't seem to retain a very good head. So I'm showing the little Mozilla tasting glasses you get from Brewdog. I need more of those.
Yeah, I'm getting the banana in the smell for sure.
Yeah,
I think more so in the glass than in the can.
It's very dark brown with a beige head.
Yeah, beige head, yeah. But that dissipates quite quick, I think, as well. It doesn't last as long. But I mean, I'm assuming that's kind of to be expected. So
I'm getting banana sweets rather than actual banana.
Yes. Yeah. It's kind of like if you've had was it Neon Raptor that did Banana Clipper?
Yeah, I think it was.
It's kind of like a bit banana clippery. It's just like a boozy banana smell.
That's all right.
Oh, I was waiting for you to just go, oh.
No, that's all right. It's not.
No, it's actually.
So the
blended
banana,
quite well.
Yeah, the banana isn't like in your face.
No.
It's just like a really in the back underlying sweetness. So if you want like banana, this is not the beer for you. No. I don't really want a lot of banana, and it's making me quite happy. And it tastes like ice cream. It's a bit weird.
Yeah. But it's a bit weird because obviously I think we said it's an 11%. And I don't think it's weird because the booziness doesn't really come in for me until the lingering part of it. Like once I've swallowed the sip, then I'm kind of like, oh, that's a bit boozy, and the alcohol burn kind of is sitting in the back of my throat a bit. Yeah. But it's not when it's in my mouth. It's not like I'm like, oh, it tastes like an 11%. Like no, it doesn't really taste like an 11%.
No. It's quite carbonated.
See, I want more banana. I'm like, turn the banana up, but it's not bad.
It's got a bit of a bitter finish to it.
Yeah, it kind of goes boozy for me.
Yeah, not a hoppy bitterness, like a roasty bitterness.
Yeah,
slightly burnt maybe.
Yeah,
it's not too bad. That'll be it's got Peruvian cacao nibs in it. That'll be what that is.
Fair. Yeah. Every time something's a bit slightly chocolatey with bitter, I'm like, is there cacao in that? Yeah. And then 9 times out of 10, it's cacao nibs.
Yeah, cacao bitterness, then booziness.
Yeah, although when you said roasty, I kind of actually got a bit of roastiness in there as well. So I don't think that was wrong. So yeah, I guess about Wander Beyond, just while we're sipping it, they're based in Manchester. So they're based in Manchester. They started in 2017, around Christmas time, December 2017. And then that seems to be, weirdly enough, as you'll see, that seems to kind of be a common theme. I feel like every one of the breweries to try we had, or a lot of them, were like started in 2017. So that's quite interesting. I'm wondering if that was maybe a time of like a bit of a boom of certain scenes within the craft area. So that was quite good. And then I thought it was quite interesting actually, because I was looking into them and I went on their Instagram, and it looks like back pre-COVID times they used to do like yoga classes, yoga and beer classes.
Nice.
So like it was called the post taproom yoga and beer class. So it looks like at the end of the taproom closing they would like open up a yoga session or something like that. Didn't really get too much detail because I just saw it while scrolling through their Instagram. That's quite interesting, I thought, because I think we're going to discuss in future virtual events, and that's one that if they don't still do that, I think that would be quite interesting for somebody to try to do, because you could definitely translate that to an online market. I think it'd be. I've always wanted. I'm not very good at yoga at all, so I always kind of wanted to try beer yoga in case it made it easier, or like dog yoga so I could be around other people's dogs.
Do you think having beer while doing yoga makes you more flexible?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
definitely. I tried doing an at-home yoga class.
Yeah,
I get already veering off topic. Tried to do an at-home yoga class, and I was like, I just shut my camera off because I was like, this is embarrassing for me. Like I can't. They were all like, we do this pose, and I was like, the what? They're like, now go into the screeching eagle or something, and I was like, I can't do that at all. So I turned my camera off and I went, oh sorry, my camera's not working. It's just because I couldn't do it.
Brilliant. Now you're new to Wonder Beyond, aren't you? I've had quite a bit of Wonder Beyond.
This is my absolute first, and I'm definitely getting the ice creamness from it.
Yeah,
that's similar. It's like when you have any kind of ice cream beer, they always have that creaminess, not so much in mouthfeel, but in the taste of it, like just a creaminess to it, and that's what kind of gives it that ice cream quality. And I'm definitely getting it on this, although I think it gets overshadowed a bit too soon by the bitter roastiness.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's not. It's balanced. It's just that I think the bitterness for my taste buds, where I don't like as much heavy bitterness, it's a bit more bitter than I would have maybe personally liked. But it's not bad at all. It's a good first impression, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's all right. I like it. It's now that the head's gone on mine and it looks a bit muddy brown. The colour's not as nice as I would like it to be. That's a decent offering.
Yeah, it's not bad. They were selling that. They've got killer artwork as well. So
they've got really good artwork.
On the can, it's like some jellyfish and a little hop-looking turtle and a
they have this little hop guy.
Octopus.
These little hop guys are on all of their cans. And then there's a banana octopus.
I quite like it actually.
Yeah, they are good. Their can art is really interesting.
They sell their artwork as well. They sell prints of their artwork on their website, and it is proper. Like when we talk about good can art, it is properly good artwork. It's definitely something that I would buy and put on my wall because it's really enjoy it. So yeah, that was an interesting foray into Wonder Beyond. Like I said, everyone raves about them, and I just genuinely had never tried them before, so I was like, give this one a go, and paid off, I think, because I do like my ice cream beers. So
yeah, I like them.
Yeah, give them, if you've not tried them, if you're living under a rock like me and you've not tried them before, definitely give them a go, I think.
Right, next. Trivial Activity by Maltgarden. This is another one of your ones, isn't it?
Yeah, all three of these, I think, all three of these that we're doing in this one sitting are
your ones.
Mine, because so this is dragon fruit and mango and lime pastry sour. So I picked that I wanted Maltgarden because I had felt like, it's lively. Hold on.
Oh no.
It's not as bad as Beer Kano, but it was definitely lively. I picked them, I think, mainly because I've wanted to try them. I've seen a lot of their beers listed before, but I also know that they're not based in the UK. And with Brexit happening, I think they kind of bumped up my timeline maybe a bit quicker to the top of the list of beers I wanted to try than maybe they would have been otherwise. And I think that's probably because I knew sort of time's ticking on the Brexit thing, and I wanted to grab them before they all went, because I know like the Garden Brewery, that one, I think it's a Hungary based one. I think they're not shipping to the UK anymore. And I was like, well, I don't know how much longer until Maltgarden do the same. So lovely colour on this.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like a
rosé is how
or like a watermelon red.
Yeah.
Pink tinged thick head.
Yeah.
Lovely.
It was lively on mine, and it's still quite thick. It looks spongy is how I'd probably describe the head. Smells very sour, if I'm honest.
Lime. Lots of lime, dragon fruit. Bit of wheat in there. Is there wheat in this? Yes.
If you told me there was, I would believe it.
Barley, oat, wheat, flaked oats, flaked wheat. Yeah.
Interesting. So I tried to do the research on this brewery, and all I got from them was they're Polish based.
I was going to say they're Polish.
I couldn't figure out at all when they started. They have an Instagram, but that's pretty much it. They don't really. I couldn't find a website or a Facebook page or anything. It was literally an Instagram. So that's all I've got to give you today.
Their can art is really lovely. And their can artist is actually on Instagram. I think I followed them today, actually.
It looks like for anybody that's not watching the video, I'm showing the can, but for anyone that's not watching it, it looks kind of like a painting. It looks like a abstract painting, really.
So
lovely.
I'm going to give you their handle. So their name is OstexX_creative. And they actually show, so it's OSTECX_creative. And they actually show on their feed the Maltgarden cans, and like they show you bits of how they do it. So there's a really cool picture on their Instagram. Anyone that's watching the video, they show like it's obviously acrylic paint, and they've picked all the acrylic paint off the tops of the tubes, and there's a picture of that. And then there's like,
I really like that one. I'm looking at it as we speak, because I've just gone to follow them.
Of squeezed out acrylic paint, and then you can see their the next part of the process where they've obviously got this paint squeezed out, and then they wiggle it across the thing, and that's how you get the art on the cans. Gorgeous.
And it looks like that. It looks like it. Like it looks
Beautiful.
like somebody's done a canvas painting, like you said, with acrylic paint, and then they've gone, that's a great label, let's put it on. It's very nice. I wouldn't, it's not like the ones where you've got like the big scenery of people and places and things. It's very very modern, very just really nice to look at. It's just very visually pleasing. Yes, abstract. It's very visually appealing.
It reminds me of Liquid Lights can art, actually, from up in Nottingham, because they have like the 60s oil art.
I think they should be selling these if they're not already, because I feel like these are definitely like hang on your wall pieces.
And this beer is amazing.
I was just going to say, I was expecting it to be a lot more sour than it was based on the smell.
Yeah.
And it's not. It evens out very well, for lack of a better way to explain it. You think it's going to be really tart, but it's just the right amount of sour where you're not puckering, you're not getting it in the back of your mouth going, oh, that's a bit much. It's just, you go, oh, it's a comfortable amount of sour. It's a sour that I would give to somebody that has maybe never tried sours. It's not one that I think would be a challenge for that person, but it's very, beautiful. In my opinion, beautifully crafted. I think it's very well done.
It's light,
but
then it's got a creaminess about it that's coming from those oats and the wheat, and then it's just juicy fruit. Like you're getting that dragon fruit. Like dragon fruit, I find really difficult to describe if you don't know what dragon fruit tastes like.
I don't know what dragon fruit tastes like, but I'm getting the mango and I'm getting the lime.
So dragon fruit, I always find is quite perfumey and fragrant. Even in its taste. And I think that's right at the beginning. and then you're getting the mango, and the lime is zesty right at the end. Like it's just a little, it's not quite as hard as a punch, but there's like a little boop of lime at the end, which is really lovely.
I like that description of this, just a little a boop.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I don't know how I'm going to write that on Untapped, but
I think you've nailed that description.
Yeah.
And from now on, I'm going to describe things as having a little boop, boop.
It's not a punch, and it's not a smack. It's a boop.
Boop. Yeah, that nailed it with that definition. And I get why people seek out their beer, because it's good. It's really impressive, actually. Like it's I think it's the kind of thing that comes across as very, I don't know. I would say that this is very clean in its taste. It's very just absolute clean flavors, which I think sometimes when you have very clean flavors, it can come across as very simplistic. But actually, when I drink this, I go, yeah, okay, there's the basic flavors in it. It's very clean, but actually to get it to come across the way it's come across, it really takes skill to do that.
Yeah.
And based on this, I 100% would want to try more of their stuff, if I'm honest. Be interesting to see how they do for like non-sours, for example, because they've, in my opinion, they've nailed the sour quite well, at least for this one. Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's absolutely it's gorgeous.
It's sessionable. I feel like I could sit and sip on this, especially like when it's nice and sunny out, when it gets warm out again.
It's only 5.5%. That's proper sessionable. It's a big old can though as well. It's a proper 500ml can.
Value for money, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's like really good. Whether that changes because of Brexit and they've got to jack the price up, I don't know, but
possibly. It is gorgeous.
It's a place that I think, if I would, when we can all travel again, like I would be like, yeah, I would love to go to Poland and try.
Let's go find them.
Yeah, I would hunt them down already. The last time I went to Poland, I found like the best burger that I've probably ever had in my life. It's called, if you're ever in Krakow, it's called Grubabula. It was literally the best hamburger of my life. And I'm saying this as an American who's had some really F-wording good burgers. Like this, we went back. We were only there for like 5 days and we went back. I had 2 burgers from them. And they also had like a little range of craft. So like I'd go back, I'd get myself a Grubabula burger, and then I'd go hunt down Maltgarden, wherever it is. And because I don't know where in Poland, I just know Poland. But yeah, it's really nice. I would love to go sit out in their garden in Poland and just drink all their beers.
Yeah, gorgeous. 5 out of 5, mate.
Definitely 5 out of 5 for me. And I don't give out 5s lightly.
No.
It's definitely a 5er.
Yeah. Love it.
Well, while I'm finishing off the rest of this, so any smaller breweries that you have that you tried in 2020 that you would suggest to people, maybe not for Tryanuary specifically, because by the time this comes out, it's a bit late, but just to keep eyes on for the rest of the year that maybe they should look out and try, because let's plug those ones that are smaller and maybe don't get the same recognition on the forums that the rest get.
I really like Yonder, who are a mixed fermentation brewery. I think they're coming a bit more to the forefront now because they've got like a core range. Their mixed fermentation pale ale is lovely, subculture. Their raspberry goes. I mean, we all know I'm a massive fan of raspberry. The good raspberry goes, and that's in their core range. So like a mixed fermentation pale, a raspberry goes in your core range. Thank you very much. That's my kind of brewery.
You could just go raspberry, and you're like, I'm all in.
I'm there. Yeah, I really like their beers.
So if Joanne's ever like a shark on Shark Tank or something like that, and you're going to pitch an idea, just throw raspberry into it, and you could be like, I'm going to do this thing, and she'd be like, oh, I don't know, and you're like, there's raspberry, and she's like, I'm in.
Yeah,
I want 20%.
Yeah, all of it. Give it to me. But they forage as well, so they have some really interesting, like they've got there's one that they do called Bugs. And
that doesn't sound, when you talk about foraging, that doesn't sound great. It's called Bugs.
But that one's made out of carrots. A mixed fermentation, so that's really interesting. Yeah,
I think I've seen that, and that's one I've wanted to try because I've never seen carrots utilized before.
Duration did one that was carrots as well, so a carrot wheat beer. It's good. It was a
purple
tried
like
beer.
I've never tried. I've seen them, but I've never actually tried anything like that. Like vegetables that you wouldn't normally think of to make beer.
Yeah. I don't know how big Duration is with people, but Duration's a really good brewery as well.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That wouldn't have even have been on my thoughts of like, do people not know who Duration is?
I wonder if some people don't.
Good.
If you don't,
They
if
do
you
regular tastings as well, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They're doing regular virtual tours of their brewery, which is in an old farm building in Norfolk, and they had when they were starting to put it in there, they had to have conservationists come out because there's bats living there, and they have to look after the bats.
Can you imagine like that's your job? You're like, oh, I've got to go make the beer, then I've got to feed the
I've got to
bats.
sort out the bats. They've just filled out. They've just filled up their cool ship as well for their first cool ship beer.
Cool.
So they've got good stuff, and they've got a barrel program, and they've just a fooder program.
Explain to me what's a cool ship. What's that?
Right, so if you've heard of cool ship beers, so it's basically a big tank, but it's open, and so you stick your beer in it, and then you just leave it.
Like there's no lid on it.
Nope.
What if something gets in there?
That's the point.
What if
so it's open.
Crusties or
no,
like
so it's open so that like the flora and fauna around and the wild yeast gets into it and ferments it that way.
Interesting.
Yeah. Wild beer. So who else have got one? Wild Beer Co.'s got one. Burning Sky have got one. Off the top of my head.
Can we do an episode on it and you can teach me all about it?
Yeah, let's do a cool ship one.
Let's do a cool ship. We just every time we record, we just think of like new episodes to do.
That's going to be an expensive one because they're always 750ml.
Okay. Maybe that's like a when we can meet in person.
Yeah, because then we could share bottles.
Bottle.
Yeah.
We can go to location and try them. Yeah, no, that's cool. I think my list, I've got a brewery that I know is quite good, that I know the guy that brews there. It's Way Out Back Brewing in Bournemouth. They're quite good. Try them. I got their Kvike one that they released with. If I've got an extra, I'll send it to you, Joe, because I know that you enjoy Kvike, and I think that's quite we discussed previously in a different episode. It's a very specific taste. Some people like it, some people just don't get on with it. So really good. They make really good beers just in general. But I think they're a lot smaller, and I think they're less known because they've only just started within the last few months because of lockdown, shipping their beers mainland UK, where they never previously did that. It was always at the tap room only. So the second they started shipping, I was like, yeah, that's it. They used to do local delivery on bikes and everything else within the Bournemouth area. Yeah. So once it was opened up to couriers, I was like, I will place an order. And it is good. And then Ampersand, I just discovered by chance because I got the collaboration with Boutiliers, and then Boutiliers sold a few of their other beers. Yeah, and I thought, well, I'll give it a go because I'm ordering from Boutiliers anyways, and I really wanted that one that we tried in the local beers episode, the collaboration they did with them, which was the tea IPA or the pale, whichever it was.
Pineapple tea one.
Yeah, the pineapple tea one.
Wheat beer.
Was it wheat beer?
Pineapple tea wheat beer, I think.
I knew it was pineapple and tea, but I couldn't remember the style. But it was good. And from there, I was like, yeah, I definitely have them again. Their dessert sour, they did a key lime pie dessert sour, was amazing. Makes me want to try more of their dessert sours, if I'm honest. So they're ones I would try. I tried Good Chemistry Brewing, which is based in Bristol. I've only had one of their beers, and I just happened to have it because I went, that label looks cool. I'll try that when I was at a bottle shop. And that was pretty good. So I'd like to try more of theirs. It was Kokomo Weekend or something like Kokomo something or other. It was good. Definitely good. So I want to try them again. And then the last one that I had, it's a bit traditional, but it comes across some of the beers in a crafty way, but Whitby Brewery in Whitby. So my father-in-law lives in Whitby, so we've had to go up to Whitby quite a few times, and it's really lovely because it's right across from the Abbey and it overlooks the ocean, and it's just, the brewery itself doesn't, but where it's situated, it's overlooking the ocean. And you have to climb up the 100 whatever steps to get to the top of it and
earn your beer.
Yeah, so sorry about that. We went the first time, and Muggins here didn't think it through. So I was like, I'm just going to get a few beers. And we but we were staying at the Airbnb within walking distance. So we walked there. My husband Rick was like, should we just get the car and drive? I was like, no, we'll just walk there. I'll get one or two. I'll carry it back. It's fine. They had a sale on, which actually made it cheaper to buy multiples.
Yep.
So what happened is I ended up with 12, and it's 12 bottles. And I was like, do you have a box? And they gave me a box. The box was kind of falling apart.
Oh no.
And I was like, it's fine. Don't even worry. I'll make it work. And then I realized after I bought that many, I've got to walk back down 100 and plus stone steps. Uneven steps to get to the bottom of Whitby Abbey. Like, this is great. Luckily, my husband is an absolute legend. He was like, just give it to me, I'll just carry it. Like, and he didn't make me carry it the whole way. I mean, he
would do that as well.
He likes to put it in my face. It's like, you shouldn't have done this, but he still carried it down all the steps for me. I was like, I can do it. And he's like, just give me the box. And I was like, okay. And total legend, he carried them all back down for me. And he's like, what did we learn from this? Next time we'll take the car.
If you're buying beer, take the car.
If you're buying beers from Whitby Abbey or Whitby Brewery, take your car, because they previously never had parking up there, and in the last few years they put in parking. So just drive up there and drive back down.
Oh, another one that someone posted in one of the beer groups, like this week, I think. Good. So good with an H on the end. Good. Who are from Cornwall. I want to try theirs. They've got a goes made with Cornish sea salt.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah. That's the one that I pointed out for saisons as well. They look like they've got really interesting saisons.
Is that the one that has the mermaid? And I was like, I want the mermaid one.
Yeah, Mermaid's Kiss. That's the sea salt goes.
Now you've got me into it. Now I'm going to have to look.
Payday. We'll be buying some of those. Trying to work out my beer budget.
We're going to discuss after this what we're getting and all that. So yeah, that I wanted the mermaid one for sure.
Yeah.
So I'll have to look into that. But the little known brewery that I never mentioned, Siren, they did a collaboration and they did like a sea salt one recently, and it was so good. So I have to send you one of those. Like, sea salt can be amazing in beer. So I'm always interested to try sea salt based, well, not based, but sea salt added beers. So yeah, I got sent a whole bunch of wild craft beers, and those ones are definitely like, I can't wait to dig in and try them. They sound really interesting, and it's quite a small brewery that I never heard of it before. I think it's in Norwich or around that area, and I'm excited to dig into those and try those ones. So as soon as I do, I'll obviously put it on my Instagram about what I thought about it, and then give my feedback there.
Cool. And right, so now we are on to Donzoko. Endless Graft. Now, Donzoko, we actually both wanted to try.
Yeah, but it's the one that I specifically picked because it's the one that I liked the name of.
It's dry hopped as well.
Oh yeah. This beer, you picked out the style, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you picked it out because you knew I liked to dry hop.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm excited.
Endless Graft dry hopped super saison. 9.8%. I can't get my numbers around the right way today. Right.
I feel like it's like a Superman one. That was my Superman like pose. Was a super saison. Hear that beautiful pour. Oh, and my glass is super clean. I'm gonna show it on the camera because I am very proud.
Well done.
No bubbles. Look at that head.
Gorgeous head. Mine's got a nice head on it.
Excellent.
So mine is hazy yellow.
Mine's very mildly hazy because I can see through it, but I wouldn't say it's crystal clear. But I can definitely see through to the other side.
I can like see just about see my hand on the other side, but I can't like pick out digits.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Creamy white head, quite thick,
very
spongy.
Again, spongy.
Oh yeah, that's a saison.
Smells very lemony, very like citrus.
Yeah. That's what it says on the can. Right, so this amped up version of our Belgian-inspired pale ale is unrelenting. A heady mix of esters from Beaujolais yeast, soft body of local spelt and rye, and a generous hopping with Monroe and Celia hops. I've not heard of those. For a floral bitter bite, a delicious and intense beer for sharing. The graft never ends.
I was going to actually say, when doing the research, there's also graft, and I was like, "Well, how fitting that we try this after our amped up beers episode, because this is effectively the amped up graft, isn't it?"
I've got graft in the fridge.
See, and if it were me, I would have been like, I don't know if we can drink this one because I have to do a comparison between them, because it would really bother me to not do a comparison between them if I had them both. So I'd have to get a second one and do a comparison. I'm getting banana.
Yeah, it's got a lovely peppery, spicy, bit of coriander.
For me, it's coming through like the banana in the same way of like when you get like a wheat beer, like a Hefeweizen, you kind of get the banana-y element to it, and that's kind of what I'm getting on this somehow.
Yeah, clove, coriander, pepper, zesty.
It is definitely zesty. I would definitely give it zesty vibes. So
it's only lightly carbonated. I expected it to be more carbonated. But this taste
is like, it is a very like complex taste, and it's not one that I go, oh, look at that horse blanket. Like, no. I don't understand where that's coming from. It's not like that at all. It's a very pleasing flavor, but it's very complex in a way that I think it's quite hard to explain because there's so many things going on, and it's almost difficult to pick apart and go, I'm getting this, 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 and this, because it's just so much coming out of it.
So there's an earthiness from the spelt and the rye, because rye gives that kind of earthiness.
I'm almost getting a licorice to it. Like, I'm getting a licorice taste in here.
I can get that. I'm getting floral from those hops.
I'm getting it, but not in the way that I would normally. Like, when you say floral, I can connect with that, but it's not a floral in the way that I would describe like the IPA floral notes, if that makes sense. It's very difficult to put into words. But I would say this is quite a complex flavor.
I've not had Monroe and Celaya hops before. Celaya? I'm going to look at that one.
I think I've heard of Monroe, but I don't think I've heard of the other one. And I don't remember if I've had Monroe or not.
Right, so Celaya hops.
This is another one that's in quite a big can.
Yeah, it's got a big can. They are the offspring of Styrian Golding, Aurora, and a Slovenian wild hop.
Ooh.
It's a versatile hop. Widespread use in lagers, pilsners, English style ales, and ESBs. Oh, it's not been well received by breweries to date. And it's not grown in large commercial quantities.
I was because I'm wondering if it might be because maybe that the taste that comes from it maybe doesn't mix well with what breweries are trying to create.
It's slightly citrus and floral on the nose, pleasantly bitter, and in symmetry with its aroma. So basically it's floral and citrusy, which is basically what you're getting from this. I'm getting like a lemony, citrusy.
I'm definitely getting that, but more so in the smell than in the taste. Yeah. Like, it's there in the taste. The citrus is there in the taste. The floral is there in the taste. However, as I mentioned, not how I would normally describe something that's floral. But I am getting more like sort of spiciness, maybe licorice. It's definitely, it's very interesting. It's like the one, if I had to sum it up into one word, it would be interesting, because I can't recall another beer that I've had that's sort of replicated this taste before.
No, this is interesting.
Not in this country anyways.
Monroe is German.
Makes sense.
It's mild and smooth. It has ripe red aromas. In the nose, there are wonderful notes of raspberries and cherries that will instantly bring away that. Summer sunshine. No.
Nothing
Not
like
getting
that
at all.
I am getting the dryness, like a dry hoppiness. But yeah,
Yeah, this one's
It's an
so
interesting one.
Monroe's supposed to come across as like red fruits. Strawberry, cherry, plum, passion fruit and red currant. Raspberry notes on the aroma with orange syrup. I think you're getting more of the orangey citrusy.
I'm getting more orange.
The
Like
aroma.
I'm getting more orange specifically, and I'd say lemon.
Maybe a bit of passion fruit.
I don't
Very
think I'm
tiny
getting
bit
that
in the
mine at all.
aroma. And that might only be because I read it.
I'm not getting that at all. I'm getting if I'm honest, like a bit of an alcohol burn smell now that it's down to sort of the little tiny bit left in my glass. It's definitely heavily alcohol burn smell.
It's very spiced. Very spicy.
Yeah. Which I think that's what is bordering onto licorice for me.
Yeah.
Because it's going like spicy to a degree and then just like licorice tastes. But it's very interesting.
Yeah, it's really interesting, really complex.
Yeah. But yeah, it's good. So Donzoko, I like the can on this one because it's what I would describe as like mermaid colored, like like it's not holographic, it's matted, but it looks like it would be that kind of like mermaidy color, bubbles all over it. It's like a silver can. Obviously, it's like a clear wrap, so you can see the silver underneath, and then there's a big D for Donzoko.
Yeah.
And so it's an interesting one. So they're based in Hartlepool, and they started as well in, do you want to guess the year they started?
2017?
Yes, 2017. And it was founded by Reese, and he started homebrewing actually in 2014 from his parents' back garden while he was going to school for chemistry at the University of Newcastle. So that was well done. You're studying chemistry and you're doing some homebrewing, competing in competitions. That's quite cool. And the bit, so I don't know how many people know this. You probably know this, Joe. I love Japan. We've gone to Japan twice. We would have gone a third time this year if we could. And you're probably thinking, what does that have to do with Japan? What does this beer and Donzoko have to do with Japan? Well, Donzoko in Japanese means lowest depths or rock bottom.
Oh.
So it's quite funny that it's like an English brewery with a Japanese name, and they're brewing a lot of what they're brewing is like traditionally like European.
Yeah, German and Belgian.
German and Belgian. Yeah, German and Belgian.
Like proper traditional beer styles.
Yeah. So what they do is they do sort of a lot of traditional styles of like the German, overall European type of thing. But they use the modern US and UK processes to do that. So it's interesting. And I love that, like, it's so international. It's like you've got a Japanese name. And I thought it was really cool. So I thought that was worth mentioning.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Definitely fun. So I'd be interested in trying some more of their stuff for sure after trying this one. Once I found out that there was graft as well, I was a bit annoyed I didn't go and order them both and do a comparison. So I'll probably do that at some point. But overall, enjoying it and how interesting this one is.
Yeah, it's really interesting. You're gonna need some time to really pick it apart, this one.
And it changes, like I said, it changes a bit as well. I mean, with any beer, it changes as you sip on it more. But the smell when it was like a fuller glass was one way. And then as it started getting further down in the glass, I was like, well, there's more alcohol smell to it now than I got before. Where before it was more like a nice, bright citrus smell. But yeah, it's a good one. For me, I mean, all three of these that we've done tonight, thumbs up for me. I'd be good to try any of them again.
Yeah,
or
definitely.
Try more from any of them again.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
definitely.
Obviously, as I mentioned at sort of the start of this episode, we have now burned through every beer that pretty much every beer we've put on a list, with the exception of Utopian, because they are quite elusive. With the exception of them, we've made lists and we've now ticked off, or we are in the process of ticking off all the beers that we wanted to try. I've made a new list of top 10. Have you made a new list?
There are some others that I would like to try. Yeah, I can throw a few out there.
Throw them out there.
New Barns. I kind of want to do like a New Barns, Braybrook and Utopian as kind of British companies that are making lagers. to see how they all fare against each other, especially as we said earlier, Braybrook are using German ingredients, Utopian are using British ingredients. I'm not sure what New Barns are using, but they look quite interesting. So I'd like to try
I can
some
send
of
you a
theirs.
photo of the labels I've got, and
Yes,
so you
please.
can
That'd be lovely.
analyze, because I've got 2.
So I need to get some of them. So I want to try some Amity Brewco. So I had one of theirs in my Collabfest box. So I want to try some more of theirs. And they've done an ESB, an extra special bitter with Vocation. And that's a really traditional style done by craft people. So I'm excited when I get paid. I'm going to buy some of that because I'd like to try that.
That's I think future episode we've got to do classic traditions compared to craft interpretation.
Yeah, we definitely need to do that.
That's got to be the one that we do, because that's the one that I definitely want to try as well.
We definitely need to do that. And then as well, I don't know whether I'll be able to get any because they seem to be quite small, but I want to try Acid City Brewing, who are also in my Collabfest box. They were really interesting. They do sour beers. Oh, and then I found that brewery, and I've not put them in the fridge yet, that I've got to send you some from. Someone on Instagram, reasons to be on Instagram. Reasons to be on Instagram. Someone put up that a small brewery, literally a microbrewery in Grimsby called, I think their tap room is called Crafty One, and the brewery is called Boozy Bob's Brewery.
That's literally my favourite name. Yeah. I've only seen it as Crafty One, and when you said Boozy Bob's, I was like, what are you talking about? Like, the beers I got.
Yeah. So this person had one of their beers, and it was called Honey Monster, and it was a braggot, which is a beer style that I've not tried before.
It sounded amazing.
And I think they've actually put like sugar puffs in it and honey. So I had to get in and get one of those.
They only had one.
They only had one.
They had one, literally one.
That.
I'm going to tag them in this post and be like, make more, because I really want to try it. And they only had one left on their website.
Yeah, so I bought some of that. They did have a pumpkin spice, so bought some of those.
Can I say what it's called? Can I say what it's called? You can bleep me on it. It's called Basic Bitch. Yeah, I was so excited because that's me.
Messaging Tori going, I'm ordering from this brewery. Do you want one of these? Yeah, I'll have 2. And I also
stop at one in case it was really good.
They had really interesting beers. So I've also got from them a dark sour, a Christmas saison. I think it's a chocolate orange white stout, and
that wasn't for me.
Well, I'll try it. Tryanuary.
For me, I'll try it. I know I don't like chocolate orange. It makes me feel ill.
Yeah, and a dry hopped sour as well. We got, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I got you the dry hopped sour as well.
Yeah.
So and they did a beer. I think it's got Kvike in it, but it's a raw beer, so they haven't boiled it. So when you make the beer, they've not boiled it with hops. So they put the hops in a different way. So some really interesting, because they're so tiny, they can do some really experimental stuff. And I've got those downstairs. I'm very excited to try Boozy Bob's from Grimsby.
Boozy Bob's. I was so excited about Boozy Bob's. Yeah. Like, honestly, when you told me the name as well, I was like, that's a great name. Like, I thought Crafty One, I was like, okay. And then when you were like, and they looked really, so I was like, extra good. And then the fact they had a pumpkin one, still in stock, and it was called Basic Bitch, I was like, yes, like that is for me. They're speaking to me. And then I found a bunch of I like sours, and I love double dry hop beers. So the fact they had a dry hop sour, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely going for it. And their price points, because they're small, I'm assuming, it was so good. And then you showed me the cans, and they looked like huge. I was like,
yeah, they are like,
oh my god.
some of them are only 330, but some of them are
some of the ones you showed me were like, they look quite big.
And a couple of the Christmas saison is in a pint bottle. I'm going to wash that up and stick it in the homebrew kit, man, when I've had it.
It's like you can send me more pumpkin beers when you send them to me.
I got to brew the mustard beer.
I always send the bottles back.
You do? Yeah.
I clean them, I send them back.
I need to look up the mustard. I need to look up the mustard beer recipe, because I need to see if I've got the right. I need to see if I've got the right supplies.
I'm excited for that. But yeah, any other ones you want to try? Any others on your list?
That's my list for the minute. I'm sure there'll be more.
So I made a comprehensive list because I was like, last year I did 5. I burnt through them really quickly, and then for this year I did the 5, burnt through them right away. So I decided to do 10 because I thought 10 is a bit more. Maybe that could last me one a month or one every few months.
Yeah.
So I started with I'm going to probably butcher this name because I don't know how to say it. It's Pentrich.
Yep.
How would you say that?
Pentrich. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pentrich.
Because I always say Pentrich, and then I'm like, I don't know if that's right. Correct me. Tell me if I'm wrong. Or tell me if I'm right. Yeah.
Please send us voice notes with the actual pronunciations.
Shout out to Rob because he's really great at giving pronunciations via voice notes.
Like,
or you could just you could just send me on Instagram adventures_in_optimism. Send me a thumbs up or a thumbs down and then put Pentrich next to it. If I've said it right, thumbs up. If I've said it wrong, thumbs down. But I see so much of those, and they've always, again, it's kind of like BBNO where their labels are very plain. So it's always been one that I've gone, that's interesting, I want to try it. But I've always put off trying it. And I've seen them raved about quite a lot. So I want to try that. And I'm fairly certain that my Elusive, one of my local breweries, has them. But they're in the process of listing all their guest beers. So I've not had a chance to actually buy it yet. And they're not open for click and collect. So I can't go get it. So hoping that one gets ticked off. In my local craft beer cafe, which is called The Hive, I noticed one called Crafty Cats. Now, they are a new brewery from Hurst, which apparently is just right down the road from me. It's just outside Reading. I didn't know that. So they have a dipper out, and I think they might have a stout or a porter out. I'm not sure. But it sounded really interesting. They're coming out with their 3rd one, I think. So I'm going to have to go back and buy one of those because it intrigued me that one of the first beers they put out was a dipper, and they are quite a new brewery. So going to go for that. I've got Trinity on the list, one for me that I've never tried before that I would quite like to try. I see them mentioned a lot. It's always positive stuff.
I don't think I've heard of them.
Yeah, Trinity Brewing. So I think that they're very new. They've started up last year, I believe. It's people from other breweries starting things up, if I remember correctly. I'm saying this off the top of my head after a very long week, so I could be wrong, but that's one for me to watch that I really want to try. I've got Cantillon on there, and I think that's more because of Brexit. It's more Brexit driven, because I'm like, oh my god, if I'm going to try it, now is going to be the time I have to try it. I've got St. Mars the Desert.
Cantillon's going for about 150 quid a bottle at the moment.
I know, and that's why I will never try it. So that's my unattainable one on the list because of how expensive it is. And I'm hoping when we can travel again, I will travel to where it will maybe be more cost effective.
You can literally get the Eurostar to Brussels and then walk to it.
I know.
I've done it. It's good.
I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna have to check in with you about that. So
yeah.
That's good. I've got St. Mars of the Desert, which my mate Rodders is actually going to send me because he saw my Instagram post and he's like, I've got one of those, I can send you one. And I was like, you are brilliant, you are beautiful, I will send you some back.
Really good.
They're phenomenal.
Yeah,
they're phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I've never encountered them in the wild, so to speak, so that'll be good. Good Things Brew Co. I found when we were doing our sustainability, so I really want to check them out because of their sustainability projects. Overtone, my mate Brian sent me an Overtone. So
I want to try. I want to try
one.
some. I haven't tried any Overtone. I want to try some Overtone.
I really want to still get their All Together collab because that sounded quite a bit different from the other All Togethers that I've had. But I've got their Bounty one, and I'm very excited to try the Bounty Stout. So
they're supposed to do really good fruit sours, I think. So
I really wanted their ice cream stout, but that sold out before I could get one. I think they're bringing it back now, so I will definitely probably get that. But I've always wanted to try them, so
I think they've got a plum and ginger goes.
Ooh,
that sounds fun. Yeah,
that does sound fun.
I think I want to try that.
Yeah, I sent Brian one of my S43 pumpkin spice lattes, and he gave me a bounty stout back. So that was
Nice.
exciting. Happy about that.
That's like your trading currency at the minute, isn't it?
I know. It's literally like, what? I've got so much pumpkin spices and no one that wants to consume them but me. So thankfully Brian was like, can I try one? And I was like, absolutely, you can.
Yeah.
Definitely my currency. That's brilliant. I've got Equilibrium on my list because they're a US brewery that everybody is talking about. Never had them.
I think I've had one of theirs. I think they did a collaboration with somebody. I think I got it in an Honest Brew advent calendar.
So many people go on about how, like, I think it was Fractal. One of the it was called Fractal.
I think I've heard that. Yeah,
that was a lot of people's beer of the year, and I've not tried anything from Equilibrium. And they've got one that they have Neil deGrasse Tyson, who is a famous astrophysicist, on the can, and it's the meme of him going like this, but they've replaced the head with something else.
Yeah.
So I really want that one because I like the label, and I hear really amazing things about Equilibrium. So the last two, I've got Proud Beer, which that supports LGBTQ plus community. My problem with that is you have to, if you buy from them direct, you have to buy a 12-pack minimum, and for me it's very difficult to buy 12 of the same beer.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm really hoping I can find them through somebody else, because I would really like to support their cause, and I would really like to drink their beer. Or maybe we can find enough people that want to try it.
Do some swapsies.
Buy a pack. So we'll see. And then the last one was recommended to me by a friend recently who saw a post I put on Facebook, and they're called Dingbat Beer.
Oh,
they're very new. So they've got one out you can buy at the moment, but it looks quite good. It's an IPA, I think it is. And I think they're coming out with some new ones. So I'm interested to try them in the sense that they're very new. So I'd like to see what they have early, to see if they're a people to watch in future. So
yeah,
that's my list.
That's good. Oh, I've got an Attic as well. I've not tried Attic before, and I've got one of those.
Attic. So some of the ones that you named as well were on my overflow list because I hadn't thought about them. So I made this list, and then after I made this list, I found I've got the next 5 to go on because I kept going.
Just keep bumping them up.
Crap. Yeah.
It's gonna keep happening.
I didn't think about that. So I just added it on. So Attic is one of them.
Right. So that is our Tryanuary episode done. But don't just try new beers in January. Try them all year long. Yep. And push yourself out of your comfort zone. Maybe set yourself some goals for the year, like Tori has done. Do yourself a little list of the ones that you want to try, so you've got something to aim for, and tick them off. It
feels good when you tick them off. I put a strike through on Overtone already, and it's really good. Yeah. One beer down.
And just think, right? So when we get to the end of the year and you get your Untapped stats, and you see how many different breweries you've tried,
motivation.
That's fun, that is.
It is fun. But I think for me, it's the setting a goal, meeting the goal, exceeding the goal.
Yeah.
And it's the ticking off is just fun in general. Like, who doesn't like ticking things off a list? I love it. So
we are such tickers. We're beer tickers. Soz, everybody, we are beer tickers.
I will keep drinking. I will drink the same thing that I find like repeatedly, but I do like just trying new stuff and supporting as many people as I possibly can. So for sure, like, get out there and try it and make yourself a list. And if you only like one particular style or a few styles, try new breweries offering that style. You might find some that you really, really like that you didn't know about before.
Yeah, definitely. Right, Tori, if they would like to tell you what things they're going to try or other things that you should try that you haven't listed, where can they find you?
So if you want to give me the list of your top breweries to try or whatever you've set your goals for the year, you can get me on Instagram at adventures_in_hoptimism. And where can they get you, Joanne?
You can find me. I personally am A Woman's Brew on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. You can also find my beer school, Love Beer Learning. I put up posts about different beer styles, different breweries. I do little TikTok reels of beer reviews.
Tiki-talkies.
Doing my tiki-talkies.
Love it.
One got 8,000 views the other day.
Literally, your tiki-talkies are my favorite.
I was amazed. Everything else has got like 400 and this one's got 8,000 views. So come to my Instagram, come to Love Beer Learning's Instagram and see what reel got 8,000 views.
And see all of her t-shirts. She's got like a million t-shirts.
Yeah.
Like I've got my Shipyard pumpkin.
I do love
jumper
that.
on. It's got hockey jersey style lace up.
Nice.
It's really great. Straight from Portland,
Yeah.
Portland. So
So
she's got a million beer shirts. I don't have that many.
yeah, I do. So come look at those. You can find those on @LoveBeerLearning on Facebook, Instagram. On Twitter, it's actually Love Beer Learn because there aren't enough slots for Love Beer Learning. You can also find me on the TikTokies, Love Beer Learning as well. We're on Pinterest now, Love Beer Learning as well.
Oh.
Go check that out. But also come out and check out the website, lovebeerlearning.co.uk. I have a blog there where all of this lovely stuff is shared. And you can email us at lovebeerlearning for the podcast and for my beer school, which is lovebeerlearning@gmail.com. So come find us.
Also, just add, thank you, Rob from Brewdog News Podcast, for loaning me this microphone because now I don't have to hang sheets on my door. You probably get better sound quality now. So, sincere thank you to Rob for being so kind to let me loan out this microphone from him. You don't have to listen to my 15 quid Amazon cheap crap anymore. So, thank you. And this is my egg carton. I can get rid of that now because this is lovely. So thank you for that.
Right.
Please don't take it away from me too soon.
So on that note, cheers.
Cheers.